Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Celia Havas, and welcome to our sales transformation class today. I hope all of you are ready to get started because I am so excited to be here, and I cannot wait to roll up our sleeves and get started. So, with that being said, let's get going. Okay. So, have you ever looked around your circle of friends and looked and saw that they were more successful than you are? And did that bring up some uncomfortable feelings for you? Well, excuse me, you're not the first and you're not the last person to go through those emotions, but come on, let's take a little trip with me today. And let's start off with going to a farm. So I believe that we all have to plant our seeds. And what I mean is every day, the work that you do that's the seeds that you're planting in order to start for you to transform. And every day you need to plant and water your seeds, harvest and pull out all the weeds, and tend to all the things that you need to do. You may not always see initially the fruits of your labor, but right away, but it will come as long as you're consistently doing the action that you need to take. And I know this is not easy because believe me, I've been there so many times. I would love to see the end product because I don't have the patience to wait for to see that end result. But it's important to work through it and to have the patience and wait, and you'll see the end result. What I'd love to share with you right now is a great story that I came across. And the story is about the Chinese bamboo tree. The Chinese bamboo tree is a very unique kind of tree. And we're going to go take a look at what the farmer does. Excuse me. And what the farmer does. And we'll go on that journey with him together. So the first year after the farmer has gone every day and watered, excuse me one second. Yes, Cuddles. Okay, here. Everybody, here's Cuddles. So the bamboo farmer has watered every single day the tree. And he has taken his time and taken care of the soil, and he has taken care of everything. Pulled out the weeds and tended to the ground. But at the end of the first year, nothing happened. Now, did this discourage him? No. The second year, he did the same. He actually worked the ground, watered, pulled out all the weeds, and did what he needed to do. And guess what? After the second year, nothing happened. Nothing at all. The ground was still nothing showing. But this did not discourage the farmer. He continued for the third year. And guess what? Something very exciting actually did happen. The third year, there was a little sprout that was popping up on the soil. And he was so excited that he saw that sprout, but that was it. It was just this little tiny sprout. So, but it gave him the motivation to keep on going and doing everything that he needed to do. And so the fourth year, as he continued to doing the work that he needed to do, the fourth year, another little sprout came out. Not much, but it was still something. But guess what? On the fifth year, he actually saw that this little sprout that came up after only 4 years of working, the fifth year, the Chinese bamboo tree came up through the ground and actually was 90 feet tall. Can you imagine that? 90 feet tall in the fifth year. That's exactly what happened. So now you might ask yourself this question. Did all of a sudden this bamboo tree come up in the fifth year? Did it just happen that the fifth year is the year that it went from nothing to this huge, humongous 90-foot tree? And the answer is no. Because if we had a camera and went underground and were able to see what was going on underneath, as year after year, this farmer tended to his ground, to the soil, you would see a huge formation that was taking root underground. It was the very foundation of the tree that was growing, and there was roots spreading all over. And you would be quite amazed at what was going on. But the farmer didn't see it. The normal person doesn't see what's going on underneath. And then the 5th year, this huge Chinese bamboo tree was produced. So now, it's quite amazing because you, just like you in your business, the foundation needs to be laid out. There are systems that need to be tested. There are processes that need to be in place. And through trial and error, you will go through this process. And, initially, you're not going to see your fruits of your labor. But in the end, you will see a huge difference and a huge result. Your client base needs to start off with your first client. It doesn't start off with a whole huge group around you. It starts off with one. And you grow from that one. And you need to put in the consistency and the work to lay down the foundation to help your business grow. So being an entrepreneur is exactly like this Chinese bamboo tree. At first glance, it seems that none of this is working. Nothing at all on the surface seems to be growing. Hint, on the surface, it's not growing, but underneath is where it is growing. As long as you continue to have your faith, your perseverance, and your discipline, because that's all the character traits that come into play to help you build your system. It's the faith that your consistent action that you take place towards your goals will eventually bear fruit. So remember, people will make fun of the farmer that put so many years of work without much to show for it on the surface. They won't understand why you're trying to do all of this. They're not getting that you're putting in all the fruits of your labor here. And they will try to persuade you to maybe change directions. They will try to persuade you because they don't understand what you're doing. But the trick is to have faith like the farmer. Have faith that your hard work and your perseverance will pay off. To ignore the voices of doubt that come in and try to persuade you to abandon your dreams and your goals. But you need to ignore those voices to keep on going and keep moving forward and putting in the work that will lead for you to eventually the growth of your bamboo tree. Remember that you're building your roots. Remember, it's the foundation of your business. And to be a successful bamboo tree farmer, you need patience, you need courage, you need faith that your tree will eventually blossom too. Now, I would love to tell you a story right now about an event that I had to hold. I was my very first fundraiser, and I never put together a fundraiser. And what had happened was I was raising money for a nonprofit organization for children with special needs. And while I was putting this together, I decided, okay, I'm going to have an event for it was a comedy night. And so I hired 3 comedians for the night, a full catered dinner, cocktails, and a complete room filled with a Chinese auction. And like I said, this was in order to raise money for this nonprofit organization that I had started. And being that I've never done this before, and I won't go into all the details of what it takes to actually run a program like this, but let me tell you something. That night, we opened up the doors to the banquet room, and the guests were starting to come in and be seated. And one particular guest came up to me and said, "Really amazing. The way the tables are set up, the lighting, the Chinese auction, and the event for the night was just truly over the top." And she complimented me on that, and I was so touched because she said that, you know what? So many people just walk in and see the finished product. And they don't know the work that goes behind the scenes in order to create this. They just sit down and enjoy the evening. But I want to acknowledge you, she told me, for the work that I know that goes into such an event. And so I want you to take that for yourself. And I want to acknowledge you for all the work that you do behind the scenes. And I want to acknowledge you and tell you that to be the farmer of the Chinese bamboo tree, be consistent in your action, because when you plant those seeds, that's where the magic starts to happen. I want you to focus on the end result, but I don't want you to be in such a rush that you don't enjoy the process, because it's in that process that you go from planting the seeds to seeing that tree blossom, is where all your transformation will take place. So enjoy that journey. Go forth and take all the lessons that you learned from here, from all the classes, not just this transformational class, and enjoy, because that's part of the process of transformation, is enjoying it and sticking to it. So I hope this class was helpful for you, and you enjoyed it as much as I do. I'd like you to think about this and do your homework. And the homework is to take time out and think about what area in your life you would like to transform. And let us know what that is. And think about what are the steps that you need to take in order for that to happen. And are you ready to be the farmer of your farm? So have a great day. Take care. Bye.